Senator Bob Corker set to meet with Donald Trump. Why?
He's chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee. He's an establishment guy. He's been in the Senate for a while now. He looks like a senator, so maybe Trump is thinking, well, I'm out there. I'm a business guy. I need an inside-the-beltway guy with foreign policy experience.
He's also a businessman.
Yeah, he was a businessman before he went. So it's...
You see him as a top VP candidate pick for him?
Yeah, I don't know that he would take it, but...
Do you like him for that?
My opinion is different. I don't put my opinion. I'm analyzing. I think he's good, Corker. He's a good guy.
But is he enough of an outsider?
The problem with
that was the question that I was going to ask.
Here's the problem with Corker is he was for the Iran nuke deal. And that is going to be a problem. Trump has to run against this nuke deal.
No, he was against it.
No, he sort of massaged it.
He ruined it by letting it be a vote instead of a treaty.
Exactly.
Interesting. So, but the one thing that this allows, though, Doug, is for Donald Trump to stay in his lane as the outsider. And he has said all along that he needs someone to do the things that he cannot do, and he's not a politician.
Right. And the real challenge Trump has is to pick somebody who addresses his concern, to have somebody who is experienced in government, but is not so much of an insider he can be successfully attacked. One of the candidates is prospectively Newt Gingrich, a friend of all of us. Newt's negatives are almost as high as Trump's, and as good at governance as he may be, he'd be a real target for the Clintons.
I'm seeing a lot of pull for John Kasich. Trump needs Ohio. Yeah. Chunky Heifer, you know that's not your real name, and I'm sure you're good-looking. Take that off. Give yourself something better.
Chunky must have a weight problem.
Chunky says it needs to be someone from Ohio must have the state for the election.
Well, let me just say something to you on this. I was out last week in an industrial Midwestern state that was not Ohio. But I was doing a number of focus groups on another topic, but presidential was involved in it. The number of Republicans who were unhappy with Trump, who raised Kasich on their own, was amazing to me. And I'm thinking, no, it was a consistent theme across about a dozen groups.
No.
I don't know. I'm just telling you, they like that. And I think in many ways, even though he's not enough of an outsider, he is the governor. He helps him. He's a manager of government.
You pick him, you tell him, your job, you have one job. You stay in Ohio for 4 months, guarantee that we get Ohio. That's his job.
And that means Hillary has to go, if that happens, to Sherrod Brown.
Real quickly, if I like your comment, it is not my personal opinion of it. It means I really want to get you in on a conversation. So if you see that, it means I'm trying to get to you next. Pat, I want to talk about something that you just did. You did some focus grouping. We can't say the exact state, but it's a major Midwestern...
industrial state.
Okay, so it can't be that hard to try to figure it out.
Right.
But what came out of that that you think is significant?
Well, what was significant, and there were many, this was over, we did a dozen groups, and I was in 10 of them, 9 or 10 of them. And I want to tell you, unanimously, 2 things came up, 3 things. One, first of all, I was stunned at how negative women were, particularly to Hillary Clinton. These were basically Democrats and independents, and the vehemence with which they dismissed her. I also found the first thing everyone said, and I would say over half the participants, their first comment was, why isn't there somebody else? Which will go to what Doug's polling did. And the third thing is on Trump, is what I said to you, is a lot of people who were unsure, I mean, they were going to be for Trump. Right now, if I had to bet, that state would be going to Trump. And I know how to read people's comments. It was amazing. And this would stun the world. Oh,
okay. Before I get to you, Doug, on that, because you brought up women, Tricia says on Twitter, please address the Debbie Wasserman Schultz playing favorites. She's head of the DNC. What is up with that in your political party?
Well, what it is
she playing favorites and picking Hillary Clinton?
She has been running the DNC for Hillary Clinton along with the entire Democratic Party. It is the most rigged system in our lifetime, and she has put her thumb on it, whether it was the debates, the money, or whatever. And Bernie Sanders went after her today and said he'd fire her. In fact, he's supporting her opponent in the primary. This thing, and where the establishment will not give up power, is going to get why the party is going to be tough. They are not just, Sanders people are not just there to hold up their hands and say, well, we got to support Hillary. And that's where the media, which is turned on Sanders, is wrong.
Why doesn't Hillary just pick Sanders as her running mate and be done with it?
Can they get along?
It doesn't
That's
matter
a
if they
big
get
question.
along.
Yeah,
Because
big
they-
question.
because Doug, I mean, really, if they can't, and you've got those supporters who are having the infighting, if they have another Nevada and California, that is so toxic.
Well, that's exactly right. And what Pat was alluding to, and this gets to your point, is that the American people, 20%, say they will vote for a true independent. Bernie Sanders could run as an independent. There could be a Republican rump independent running. We could have prospectively 4 candidates, but what the American people are is massive numbers dissatisfied with both Hillary and Trump. They want alternatives.
All right.
They want
I want to
with
talk
both
to you
parties.
both about some of the research on the ground that you've done, because this is important stuff. DTB Esquire writes, Harris, I want to know, when polls ask the woman question, are they only asking the question to women? Yes or no?
No, asking everyone.